So you're back again. Ooh, you are a glutton for punishment. Anyway, welcome to Star Choice. And without further ado, because we've got two splendiferous guests on tonight, let's get on with the introductions. And over, of course, to our two girly gargoyles. First of all, Katie Boyle.
Thank you,
With you tonight is a lovely lady from Halsey and Huddersfield. That's Anne Mawson. Now, Anne is 1 year younger than me. She's 19. She is a sensational Sagittarian and used to work as a receptionist in a health and fitness club, something I'm heavily into. Heavy being the operative word. Although this was a temporary job, but before she returned to her studies, Anne has a particular interest, it says here, because you enjoy weight training, tennis, I thought it said Dennis, and swimming. Are you into Dennis? And your more languid pursuits are lolloping around pianos and reading. Is that true?
Yes.
Now, over to a lady who's wearing a terribly revealing tablecloth, Eve Pollard. Eve, darling, you've got the old lace. Where's the arsenic?
The arsenic is coming later. For example, why did you decide to impersonate Yellow Pages?
Well, it wasn't very easy. This is my yucky yellow frock.
And it's lovely.
You like it, darling?
Yes,
of course you do. She'll borrow anything. She's so poor. Anyway, on now to her friend, your little friend you've brought along again from Huddersfield.
That's
So
right.
Good day. That's Julie Dakin. Now, Julie, you can let your fingers do the walking over me anytime. But before you do, being a cuddly Cancer, I gather you're also married to Peter, who's also a Cancer.
Yes.
Nice crab salami together.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, you have a little boy called James who's 1 year old. What sign's he?
Cancer.
Goodness me. What happens when you all get moody together?
Terrible.
Is it?
Absolutely terrible.
All gloom. You know these Cancerians. So upset all the time. Anyway, after vetting all the candidates, we'd like to welcome as our star choice a man who hasn't gone to the dogs, but plenty have come to him. That's television vet John Baxter. John, if they wanted to see sartorial elegance, you haven't got to go further than Leeds, have you? Look at this, aren't we stunning?
Well,
Look at Miss Pollard, she's never impressed that woman.
Oh, I don't know. I
Miss
think by
Boyle.
comparison to you, Russell, he just looks wonderful.
You like anything in blue. Anyway,
the terrible thing for me is I'm a vet, you know. When I see this colour, you know what I think?
I've got jaundice.
Diarrhea.
You're right, listen, I went over to
can't help
Blackpool, I got Montezuma's something or another.
Revenge.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think it was. It was in somewhere around. Anyway, look, round one is fairly easy. Are you ready for this then now, John? Round one's fairly easy because you've met our star choice. Now, all you've got to do is guess his sun sign by, well, pummeling him with some of your wonderful questions. Are you ready for all that? Now, each team, that's Katie and Eve, are going to ask John questions in order to identify his birth sign. Okay, then? So, Katie, are you ready for this, darling?
Well,
Pummel
I-
him with your thing.
Yes, please.
Which? This? My
Anything you
thing?
like,
All
darling.
right, I'll have a good pummel. What qualities would your perfect woman have to have? Let's start with that.
I think she must be very, very feminine.
Yes.
She must be soft,
Yes.
cuddly, because I like cuddly, feminine women,
Yes.
and just slightly subservient.
Oh, he's an MCP, is he?
I think he's into
He's
whipping,
definitely piggy.
which is going to please Eve no end.
Oh, I'm out of that stage now.
Are you?
Do you think that you're rather sexy underneath it all?
Did you say think? Do you want me to be frank?
Of course.
Do you want me to be frank?
Why not? Not Frank Bath. Not Frank Bath. Yeah?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm egotistical, and I do think I'm quite sexy.
It's true. Anne, are you turned on by this sexy-looking blue creature next to me?
Well,
She's not impressed. She's not impressed. Anne, question.
Question. If you got caught in a fire in your house and you could get out safely,
Yeah.
and you could save one thing in that house, what would you take with you?
Apart from the wife,
Apart from life.
I think I might take, and this is not a line, I've got a very favourite cat called Red. And although Red matches the flames, I would save him because he's such a wonderful animal. Providing all the family were out first.
Yeah.
Right. Julie?
Do you provide a sympathetic shoulder to cry on?
Are you sympathetic?
Yeah, I
Yes.
think I am, but it depends the mood I'm in. If I'm
Yes.
tired, then I
Yeah.
can appear, especially on the telephone, to be quite critical.
Now it's time to have a stab. Katie's team first.
Well, we both think that also parts of the questions that his eyes give him away to. Maybe completely wrong, but I think that, and you think that he's a Scorpio.
Miss Pollard and friend.
Friend and I, or the Cagney and Lacey of the right hand. We think it's Scorpio too. That sounds wimpish, but we really do.
The eyes are very penetrating, aren't they?
Not to mention the ego.
What about you lot? What do you, the audience, think John Baxter is? You think Scorpio too? There's one little crab at the front. Well, John Baxter, oh ye with the natural hair.
Yes. The time
What side are you? What side are you? Reveal yourself.
Well, my wife said that I'm softened by Sagittarius, but I'm Scorpio.
He's a Scorpio! In the words of Katie, when she used to work for the BBC, 5 points each.
Oh, really? Oh, fine. Up we go.
5.
Up we go.
Good, eh?
Okay. Now, this is great because I noticed that you brought a little secret. You see, Scorpios, John, love secrets, don't they? Now, you've got a secret here, haven't you?
You're
Is
saying
it
I'm devious.
No, I just... You've got that look in
I've
your
got
eye.
this little devious thing
Oh,
here,
what's
and it
that?
says Scorpios are optimistic, passionate, and sensitive. I think that's rather nice.
You went
So,
to
yeah.
the wrong astrologer.
Did I?
Listen.
Well, I thought
This
that
secret.
Scorpio, being a vet, I mean,
Yeah.
Scorpios can be dangerous. You see, they've got a sting in their tail, but really, they don't do you a lot of harm. There's 600 different species. So I thought, because a Scorpio belongs to the family Arachnida, did you
Oh,
know
yes.
I get elected tonight?
13th sign of the zodiac, Arachne.
Exactly, and you
Right.
can't miss an arachnid, because it's
No.
got chelicerae and other wee bits at the front.
I ate one last week.
Did you? Pedipalp. Well, they grab the thing with their pedipalps and they mush them with their chelicerae. And this is a furry friend, because it's nice and curly like.
Thank you. The blue matches your hair.
Can you have a look at this?
Oh,
Isn't it lovely? Now, isn't that a wonderful little friend?
well, I don't know. I think I would rather have an enemy than a friend like
Give us a
that.
hand, give us a hand. Give us a hand.
My nerves are bad. Listen, Katie pours into small furry things.
No,
you
thank you
know.
very much. Not this time.
No, but honestly, Scorpios are a bit like arachnids. They're great fun, they're not aggressive, they're lovable if you know how to handle them.
This is true.
But is that a
fact-
tarantula?
In fact,
No, it didn't.
listen to this. Do you want my little scorpionic urge coming through now? I feel it. You hold on to your furry
You
friend. I
thought I
don't
was-
want that going anywhere tonight.
You thought I was Jimmy Savile, didn't you?
Anyway, how many times have folks stepped back and looked as though they'll make a run for it when they found out that you're a Scorpio? Yet, if they lingered a little, they'd soon find out that you're a diamond. Someone who sparkles with the deepest love to be found in any sign. And who'll stick by you with 100-carat fidelity, yes? I know some are sex mad. We've got a sexy spider here. Now listen here, Omar Sharif of Otley. Yes, I know some Scorpios are sex mad and have wild passions and desires that set your spine a-quivering. But that's how a Scorpio likes to show their feelings, with erotic and sensual tactileness that makes your knees, or any other part of your physique, go to jelly. Sometimes your fervent feelings will turn to jealousy, and you'll want to wreak vengeance on anyone who dares to do you wrong. After all, Scorpio is a sign of either the policeman, in fact they're into anything in uniform, or the gangster in his mole. So if you're a sexy Scorpio, don't be upset if you're attracted to the seedier side of life. It's something you find quite stimulating. Scorpios often have morbid and macabre fears. Now, I know one who at the age of 20 planned his funeral with 6 black horses, complete with plumes and a gun carriage, who'll wheel him away to his final journey through the streets of Blackpool. His idea of fun is to spend his holidays staring at his plot with a flask of hot strong tea and a box full of butties. Now, you're a sign with X-ray vision and seem to know when something is right or wrong. But one thing for sure, Scorpio, never let anyone get on the wrong side of you. Because if you do get on the wrong side of a Scorpio, you will never be quite sure when they return to wreak their revenge. Scorpio can be stunning, but control these obsessive and intense feelings, and then your life will be a rich pool of fulfillment. True. Now, any of that lot you? What about the sex mad bit?
Almost all of it's me.
Is it?
This is the terrible thing about astrology.
Really?
It all sounds so good. And I'm
Well,
a
that's it.
scientist.
Well, listen, how's about, round 2? Round 2, yes. Now, what I'm going to do now to our two teams is to give some cryptic clues describing certain celebrities, dead or alive. Now, all I can tell you is that they all share the same sun sign, as our star choice, John, Scorpio. So, are you ready for this, then? Okay, then, Eve?
Ready for anything.
Right, darling. Tuck yourself in, dear.
Do
Right.
like
Day for night. The Queen apparently thought so. Day for night. The Queen apparently thought so.
Sir Robin?
You've got it. Sir Robin Knight.
Oh, Sir Robin Day. Sir
Day.
Robin Day.
2 points, love. Right. Katie, my darling. She's alive and well and working in... How's about this one, then? This actor had to see his tailor twice about a wedding, and not surprising with a name like his. This actor had to see his tailor twice about a wedding, not surprising with a name like his. Eh? Shut your gobs down there. I can hear you go. Not got
Prince
it?
Charles is a Scorpio.
No, darling.
Just thought I'd throw it
You're
in.
thicker than last week. Katie, have you got this, darling? This actor had to see his tailor twice about a wedding, not surprising with a name like his.
I think, yes, he wasn't dressed actually by that gentleman, but his name was similar. It was Burton.
You're right.
And he did say Elizabeth Taylor twice.
The window to watch.
Yes.
1 point, darling, you got a bonus.
Only one.
Yes, you got a bonus. And here comes your question now.
Oh, I see.
You're a Gemini. You're trying to blind me with
I'm
facts.
just bluffer.
Anyway,
bluffer.
generally, he had a nose for French politics. Generally, he had a nose.
Yes, well, de Gaulle.
That's right. Took 2 points for the
Oh,
goal.
that's it.
Took 2 points. Right, Eve, are you ready, darling?
Yeah.
The bogeyman sold her down the river, so she invited Tracy to dinner.
Oh, Catherine Hepburn.
Catherine Hepburn, my favourite, 2 points. Katie, this English actress made leeway in Hollywood, but Gable couldn't give a damn about her.
Go on, you say it.
Well,
Vivian Lee.
2 points. Vivian Lee it is. Right, Eve? This Irishman is a joker. It's the way that he tells them. This Irishman's a joker. Yeah?
Frank Castle.
Frank Carson, 2 points. Katie? Snakes Alive. This comedy actor walks tall and funny.
No.
No?
Snakes.
Can you get that one, Eve?
Thinking. It's hard.
It's no good. It's John Cleese. You get no
I
points.
said, oh, we said it.
You can't have it. Half a point, dear, but you haven't got it on your
Half a
thing.
point, we can't do
Anyway, before we go to the break, so John, you actually sound as though you believe in astrology, but with your actual work, do you actually take anything like that into your veterinary work?
Well, I've based my life upon 3 things. Shall I tell you what they are?
Please do.
Psychology, photography, and medicine. And I think all these things help me to reflect people's moods and things. So anything to do with that, say astrology, I'll read something into it. But I think you are cleverer because you are doing things and you don't know quite what you're doing. I think it's a natural ability that you have been born with, and that you're just expressing it. That's a compliment.
It is, I know. It was a compliment.
It was a compliment.
Right, on to the scores. I think you're great, John.
I think you're great.
He's all right. He knows a lot about cows.
Yeah.
That's why he likes Eve. Anyway, that's 11 points to Eve and 12 to Katie. You're a lovely little heifer, dear. Anyway, now it's time for a break. So join us in a couple of ticks. Welcome back to Star Choice, and this is the chance where you can see that I have got short, fat, hairy legs, and that I'm wearing nice yellow shoes this week to match, well, everything else I'm wearing. I'm so coordinated, but our coordinated and charming audience are now going to take part, because the next round involves this besotted dozen. We've coerced 12 volunteers, we grabbed them, to participate. Now, one of these 12 is a stunning Scorpio. Now, all the two teams have to do behind me is ask questions of these kind folk to see, well, yes-no questions. I mean, they've got little stars, haven't they? Just have a look at your little star, darling, which says yes, right? Isn't it clever? The other side says no, but they only hold it up when it's yes. And then we've got to find out, or they've got to find out, who the Scorpio is out of this dirty dozen. Right. Katie, what about you first, darling? Hammer away at them.
Hammer away, right. Well, have you got what is known as a will of iron?
Quick up with your stars, girls. Not up with that, love, just your star.
At the back, Russell, do you think they could you hold it right up so we could
Could you
all
hold
see
them
it?
up?
Oh,
Katie
lovely.
likes things
So you've
held
got quite
high.
a few, right.
Aloft they are. Lots of yeses there. Eve?
Thank you.
Well, Scorpios are supposed to be secretive, but have any
You
of
can put it down now, dear.
You might not want to keep it up after this question. Have any of you fallen in and out of love very frequently?
Stick 'em up. Yes, yeah. What's your name, darling? When was the last time? 39 in Walsall? Walsall, dear. It's near Stoke-on-Trent, I think. No, I know where it was. It was Ilkley, wasn't it? Yes, yes, that's right. It was Ilkley. I remember you. None of them are sure, really.
Well, it depends how often you mean, I suppose.
Well, anyway, what Eve said was... what did you say? It doesn't matter. It was rubbish anyway. What about you, my darling?
How many of you would argue very, very seriously about something and not back down under any circumstances at all?
Argue? Would you argue and... Oh, it's Not you, though, darling. Oh, no, everyone but you. She can be persuaded. Right. Final question.
And a drink in a pub or club. Which of you can stop at just one drink?
No
One
Scorpio
drink.
could. Well, that rules you lot out. Well, that's it. Now it's time for a quick plump. Aren't you from Pudsey? What? Pat Thomas? It's Pat Thompson from Pudsey, everybody! We're really thrilled to have you with us. It's her birthday. That's kept her happy. Anyway, Katie, have a stab.
Must I be the first one?
Yeah.
I must. For both of us, have I got to
Yes,
speak?
which-
Well, we are in agreement, but that lady in that lovely Air Force blue kind of thing at the back, would you
What's
by
her
any
name,
chance be Scorpio?
Jeannie, are you a
Jeannie,
Scorpio? We don't
are
say
you?
anything yet, just
You're-
in case. Because Eve might go for Jeannie with the light brown rinse. Eve? Eve, who do you think is a Scorpio?
Well, there was one lady who put up a yes when I talked about the love affair.
Really? Not
And
my
no,
friend.
no, the lady
From
in the
Ilkley.
front, your friend from Pudsey, in the pale blue.
You think Pat from
Yes,
Pudsey?
I do.
Pat from Pudsey? You're not, are you? No, she can't be if it's her birthday, you fool. As Katie would say, non point. What? I think anybody. Would this real Scorpio stand up? Please, reveal. It's you, darling, the district nurse. How nice to see you. Oh, what's this hanging here?
No, my husband bought me that.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, it's very attractive. Anyway, thank you. What's your name?
Rita Collins.
From where?
From Guiseley.
From Guiseley. It's Rita from Guiseley. No points, everyone.
No.
And we think you're all wonderful. Well, as you can see, we were terribly impressed by Katie and Eve, who got it wrong. And Katie is in the lead by 1 point.
And a half.
Un point and a demi.
That's right.
12 points to 11 for Eve. 11 for Eve and friends. Right. Now, you may wonder why there's an empty chair beside me. Well, this is where I perform my little bit of magico. Now, are you ready? He even sings with electronic voice, because you out there, of course, can see who our mystery guests are, but no one here can, in the audience or anyone, Eve, Katie or friends. So we're now on to the final round, because behind me, out of sight, we have a mystery guest lurking. Scorpios love to lurk, and I've never known anyone lurk better than this particular one. All I can tell you is that he or she is a scorpion, and I'm going to give some, well, cryptic clues, and what has to happen is our friends here have to guess his or her identity. Now, a warning, though, if Eve or Kate volunteer an answer that is wrong, then they're then out of the game, and it's left to the remaining team to find out exactly who it is. Okay, so listen carefully to the clues. Are you ready then? Fingers on the buzzers. Got no buzzers. Just shout. 1. He's a rather gossipy male. He's a rather gossipy male. No? 2. He mixes with dukes, but pulls no punches.
Yes.
Right? Are you who's going to scream? Katie?
I'm going to try. Nigel Dempster.
You've got it! I know! We thought we were going to get 5 out of you.
Oh, me.
I was hoping to be never recognised. I'll be there next Christmas.
Lurking. Would you give Katie 5 points?
Oh, absolutely.
5 points.
5.5 then.
5.5
Go
points.
on, you do it.
Nigel, trust everyone to get you. Let's face it, not many people do get you ever, do they, with all the things you write about them?
It was the Dukes, I think, that gave it away.
Was it? What gave it away to you, Katie?
It was the gossip. It had to be either William Hickey, who there isn't, so I had to be somebody else who there is.
And that's Nigel. Now, Nigel, as a Scorpio, it's a very secretive sign. With your work, do you find that people volunteer information to you, or do you have to lurk about and capture it?
It's very good, because we are secretive, but we're also, I think, detectives. Isn't that another part of
Very much
Scorpio?
investigative.
Exactly, and we get things out of people, and I think we're very good at it. I think we're also, in many ways, the best form of journalists, because we're able to get things out of people. We're charming as well, aren't we? Fearsomely charming.
Yes.
Say
The
I
word
am.
is debonair. You're so charming.
My goodness. And I think that as far as journalists are concerned, the best journalists in my type of business are Scorpios.
What if, though, I mean, the other thing is Scorpios, they can be gangsters or they can be very shady if they're not suave and debonair, as your good self is. Would you like to do anything? I mean, are you a bit under the table, shady? Is there anything else you'd like to do apart from writing the diary?
I thought we were just sexy.
You are? Have you got a very strong
What do you mean I'm sexy?
drive?
How do you know?
Well, you were so convincing. I actually said once, you know, that one Scorpio makes a gangbang because they're terribly into these things. But do you find with this investigative side, is there anything else you would like to do other than writing the mail diary?
The other things I've done, I once worked as a hospital porter, which has got human contact.
That's very good at the hospital, yeah.
I once ran a nightclub in New York, which was full of gangsters. It was owned by the mafia, I discovered after 6 months. That's when they refused to pay me, and I said, "Could I have my money?" And I think the one thing I would like to be, and goes back to investigation, I'd quite like to be a policeman, a detective in...
And these are all Scorpio things. Espionage. I mean, do you find espionage books, spy books, thrillers?
Absolutely, you have it in one.
I bet you'll write one too, soon.
I'm trying to. They don't sound off that way. Sounds like my column.
You will, but Nigel, it's great to have you here, and I'm glad you've revealed yourself to everybody. Well, once again, time has beaten us, but my thanks to John and Nigel, Kate and Eve, of course, Anne and Julie. Hope you're all right, and remember, watch your puddings. See you next week. Ta-ra!
You